When
Interesting
was the last
time.
time you enjoyed watching the All-Star game? For me, it was 2020 in Chicago when Kyle Lowry took a charge at the end of the game because they really wanted to win it. But when was the last time you watched the All-Star game and actually enjoyed watching the All-Star game?
I can't tell you the year, but it was Kobe Bryant was involved with it because when you had guys like him, and maybe
2016
was
in
that he
Toronto.
and was that he and Steph Marbury, they were going back and forth or
Oh,
something in that game, or was that after that? I can't remember that, but reason why I bring up Kobe Bryant because I believe he was the last guy,
it
the
was
superstar
2001.
player, superstar player. That's how I say it. So, but obviously there was some games after that too. But during his run in the All Star games, he made sure that the game mattered enough to everybody who was playing in it. He wasn't going to come out and just say, "Oh, go ahead, you go take this layup. Oh, go ahead, you let me take this 3-point shot. Go ahead, I'm just going to let you go by." That wasn't his makeup. And so I believe the rest of the players who were playing in the games when a guy like that was, still living and God rest his souls and still playing in the game, he made sure that there was enough of a competitive level happening in that game because he knew the responsibility to the game itself and to the fans who were paying lots and lots of money to come to the game and be a part of that weekend. So I can't give you the
Well,
dates, but that's just me. He was really the last one to.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this because no one has said it. Not just here, but no one has said it. At some point in your life, at some point, you have to make you have to ask the question, who am I? And at some point, you have to answer that question. At some point, you have to make a commitment for your reasoning why you play the game. Your reason why. Okay. One of the reasons is Scott has known me longer than anyone. Scott knew this. I think I was very aware who I was as a player. But I also had a commitment to myself. I wanted to be the best version of myself. The best version. I didn't come in saying I wanted to be the second best version. I didn't come in saying, "Hey, I just wanted to play." I actually wanted to be the best. I wanted to be the best. Now, as I went through this journey, I saw players. I said, "Wow, that guy's pretty good." However, at 7:30 though, I still made the commitment. Sometimes I was successful and had a better game than that person. Sometimes I wasn't. But I made the commitment to be the best. All-Star weekend has gone south for one reason. How many players since Kobe Bryant has made the commitment to be the best? Just that one.
The best of the best.
The best. I want to be the best. I'm not saying you're going to be the best, but when you make a commitment to be the best, that means every time you step on that court, you hold yourself to a standard. Now, Scott saw me my whole life. Scott, if we stepped on the court at St. Cecilia Gym, there was a possibility that there was another dude who said, "Hey, man, that's that dude BJ that played for such and such and such and such. Let me test him."
Oh, it wasn't no possibility.
And
That was happening. That
Scott
wasn't what
Perry and
happening.
I would go to St. Cecilia and all the other gyms to search for that guy who they said was better than us to really test that theory. Okay. Now, I don't know what has happened here at All Star Weekend, but let me assure you, I've played with a few All Stars in my life. You went to the All Star game to find out who was the best player.
Mm-hmm.
Scott, you
Yeah,
didn't go to
that's
All
the
Star
key.
Weekend and hang out.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
did. You did hang out, but
Mm-hmm.
there was always in the back of your mind
Right. Mm-hmm.
on Sunday. I got to find out who is the best.
Right.
Now, What the NBA is missing is executives like Scott Perry, because let me assure you, Scott Perry is going to have Scott Perry is going to have a little sidebar with his all-star, especially a young player. He's going to say, hey, go enjoy the weekend. Very deserving. Make sure you enjoy your family. This is a great accomplishment. Do all of the commitments that you're supposed to do because of the business of playing in the NBA. However, on Sunday, I need you to go out there and let everybody know that you are here, we are here, and make a statement so that everyone understands in the second half of the season that we are the team that no one wants to see when those playoff rankings come. Because that's what you're saying at All-Star Weekend. That's a fact, whether they know this or they don't. But you can't tell me that executives aren't sharing that level of information with why you go to All-Star Weekend, because Scott knows there's gamesmanship that's being played when you get to All-Star Weekend. You didn't go to All-Star Weekend to be messing around, because everyone is scouting everyone. You want to see who's serious about this. You want, when we had players at All-Star Weekend, we would come back, hey man, how good was such and such and such and such? Man, he's not serious. He didn't even work out during All-Star Weekend. What you mean he didn't work out? What was he doing, man? He was just da-da-da. This is the type of report that you want. You need the discipline necessary if you're going to be crowned champion and what have you. Now, these guys make it look simple, but let me tell you something. If you got a good team, and Scott has been on a championship caliber team, there's a level of discipline that comes with being a champion. That's not an accident. No. And these guys, some of these guys go on vacation. Yeah, oh man, I'm going here, I'm going there. But let me tell you something. If you serious about it, them guys gonna be in the gym somewhere.
I was at All-Star Weekend last year, B, and discipline is not the word I would use to describe what was going on.
This is,
I'm sure,
as it should be. However, for some of us, that's what it is. This is not an accident here. My biggest disappointment is you're seeing players not carry that level of responsibility. Who wants to be the best? Who wants to be the best? We're talking about Mamba mentality. There it is. There it is right there. And if you're not carrying that mentality, don't say that. Everyone says they want to do it. Everyone wants to go to the party. Everyone wants to be loved. Everyone da-da-da. But let me tell you something. The guy who really wants to do that, he's doing that whether the lights are on, the bright lights are on, the bright lights are off. So what's missing from All-Star Weekend? Who wants to be the best? It's just that simple. Who wants to carry that responsibility every single time they step on the floor? That's a big commitment. That's a big commitment to the game. That's a big commitment to yourself. And that is a responsibility that only a few can carry. Now, when you're talking about playing in the summer, Scott, correct me if I'm wrong. You didn't step on the court talking about you just trying to get a run. Someone is going to challenge Scott Perry.
No question. Yeah.
I've played hundreds and hundreds of games, probably 1,000 games with Scott Perry. Scott Perry was going to challenge someone on that court. I can assure you, whether it was Isaiah Thomas, whether it was whoever it was, whatever player was in front of Scott, Scott was going to.
Our friend Irvin, who is a big Washington Commanders fan, huh?
Yeah. Irvin Johnson, who won the Commanders.
Shout out to Magic.
Every single time you play, you got to find a reason to play that game. This isn't just like, well, I asked. No, that's not how it works. But that to me is the most disappointing thing is that I'm not even upset at the players. I'm upset at the leadership and the executives who aren't imposing that way of thinking, because you can gain a competitive advantage just at All-Star weekend. Guys were in the Olympics in 92. I remember when those guys came back. Our first conversation was, tell me about all the players. Tell me what his practice habits were. Tell me what he was doing in the workout. Tell me, I wanted to hear, because you don't get a chance to see that. You don't get a chance to peek behind the curtain with these guys. So this is why you play. And if the championship is really in your grasp, Shea Alexander, for instance, Shea to me has the most to lose at All-Star weekend. Because right now he's the best guard. He's the best player. I want to see what he's doing. What is he doing that the rest of us aren't doing? What's his formula? Well, he just comes there and hangs out, does fashion week, hangs out, parties, whatever. You don't want guys to get comfortable around you. He's fighting for an NBA title this year. So if he starts letting people get comfortable around him, guess what's going to happen during the playoffs next year in the spring? He can't afford to do that. He can't afford to do it. But if he goes there and establishes, hey, I'm the best player in the league, guess what everybody else going to say? Man, we don't want to play them. Why? Shea Alexander.
Yeah.
Man, he the real deal, man. Hey, you know what he was doing on Sunday morning while everybody else was going out Saturday night? Man, that dude was out working on his game. He took his game serious. He came to the game on Sunday and was for real. Nobody wants to play against somebody with that level of mentality, that level of competitive spirit. Nobody. Even if that's who you are, you rather see a guy, you want a guy to give up. That's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Shea Alexander has a chance right now. If I was working with Shea Alexander, I would say, go down there and let's go down here and dominate. Let's go down here and let everybody know you ain't come down here to play no games with y'all. Shea Alexander is not being friends with these players. Shea Alexander is not working out with these guys. Shea Alexander coming out every single night trying to destroy people. Okay? That's what you're looking for at All-Star weekend. But I'm putting the responsibility on the adults because the kids learning this from somewhere. So I'm not going to be the one that's going to knock these young people. Oh, man, they don't want to play. No. Must mean some of these executives not as competitive as they say they are.
Well, they probably just don't have the analytics on All-Star week.
Well, and a lot of them don't have the background that like the number of executives had during your time playing either. We got basketball people, played, coached, whatever the case may be, they were always in competitive environments. And so
I'm gonna send a guy like Victor Wembanyama. No, I'm gonna send you there for one reason. Let's find out how good you really are. I need you to compete in this game against Giannis. Let's see if you are that good. I need everyone to say, hey, this guy is the next. That's what All-Star Weekend is. Who is the best of the best? You went there to see how good you really could be. And you came out with that mentality. Now, suddenly, that's not how it is anymore? No, not on my clock. Not on my clock. That ain't happening on my clock.
Man, we living in the world of participation trophies, man.
Exactly.
It's done, man. From when they're kids, it's done. Come on.
Hey, that is fair. You may participate.
I've told you, I've reached status now.
But on my clock, the standard is the standard. That just can't happen. The standard is the standard. If that's the standard of them, so be it. I'm going to dominate them. I didn't come here to win. I didn't come here to participate. I knew who I was, but let me assure you something. If I could dominate you, I'm going to dominate you. That's a fact. That's what it is. That's how the game is played. That's how the game will always That mentality still exists. It's
Winning
just
is not enough.
No, it can't be enough because some of these players have enough skill. A 3-point shooter still has a chance to win the game. It's like boxing. If you got to respect that boxer's punch, he's still got that one punch. You can get
Shout
knocked
out
out.
to Deontay Wilder.
You can still get knocked. You still have a boxer's chance to always win. Therefore, you got to respect this game every single time you walk out there. And with that, I'm not giving away All-Star Weekend. We're just gonna come and hang out. I'm just gonna show up. No, sir. We said we want to win a championship. This is part of it, and then we just gonna say this doesn't matter. No, no, that's not how this works. That's not how this works. So, again, I'm putting the responsibility on us, on the leaders, the leadership of this league. I'm putting the responsibility on the people who are coaching this league, the executives in this league. And then, therefore, when people understand what we expect, then it's our job to find people who go meet that standard of excellence. That's how it is.
Right. Yeah.
That's it. That's called leadership. We have to hold ourselves accountable. There has to be a level of discipline here where everyone has to abide by a level of excellence. We're the best in the league. Therefore, if we're the best in the league, we have a responsibility to be at our very best every single time. It's called professional sports, isn't it? Or now we're going to call it something different. Now, I want to know what it is. If you call it professional sports, then be a professional.